We're coming to you this special edition from New South Wales Rural Fire Service headquarters, where, as you can see behind me, people are doing an incredible job. They're keeping track of thousands of roads, thousands of Rural Fire Service volunteers, and more than 100 fires that are still burning across New South Wales. But let's look at Victoria. One person has been killed, and there are grave fears for 17 people in the Gippsland region today. They are unaccounted for. A 7-day state of emergency has been declared for New South Wales. That starts tomorrow, and 7 people have died on the south coast and 382 homes destroyed. Mass evacuations are continuing and fire conditions are expected to worsen and perhaps get catastrophic over the next 3 days. Let's go now to Mallacoota, where Minnie Becker will join me. Minnie, the Navy has arrived to conduct those evacuations. That is going to be an incredible job. How are they going to achieve that, and how's everybody doing there?
Layla, as you say, this is a massive operation that is about to unfold, and for the thousands of residents and tourists here at Mallacoota, they're feeling tired and exhausted, but they're also incredibly relieved to see that arrival of the Defence Force here. At the moment, a town meeting is about to get underway, and we are seeing people register to try and put forward their interest to be on board that first boat out of Mallacoota tomorrow afternoon, HMAS Choules. As you say, this is a massive operation, so people are putting their names forward, registering their interest, and then the Navy will compile a list of names of people who have been accepted on that first ship out. It's expected that that list will be made known, made public here in town tonight, so people can pack up their campsites, pack up their belongings and get ready to leave tomorrow. But a lot of people are holding out hope that they'll be the first ones on board that ship, and the arrival of the Defence Force was certainly a massive relief here in town today. A warship on a humanitarian mission, hope is on the horizon at Mallacoota. The vulnerable, frail, young and old, the family pets, they all want to get out. The sheer scale of this evacuation is extraordinary.
Please attend here, in effect re-register.
The challenge is to keep families together.
Bye, Nan.
HMAS Choules moored off Mallacoota, bringing crucial supplies to a town in crisis. Water, fuel, food and, for some, an escape.
HMAS Choules is purpose-built for this. So the ship brings this capability as one of its key responsibilities. They're ideally suited to this task. So for them, this is their standard role.
But the nightmare isn't over. The Navy today announcing evacuations will take place tomorrow afternoon at the earliest. Only school-aged children and adults will be allowed on board HMAS Choules. It's a 16-hour journey to the closest port in South Gippsland.
Bring some water with you, but no, we'll give you some food and drink and look after you when you're on board. It may not be 5-star, but we'll give you enough to sustain you and keep you going.
Once there, they need to be prepared to clamber down rope ladders and onto smaller boats, which will take them to shore at Port Welshpool.
Could be an adventure for some.
We've been on adventure showing in the countryside, and now we've shown them a little bit too much, so
where's
it's time to go home.
I'm excited too.
You're excited too?
We're going.
The Monday family claim help hasn't come fast enough, saying the Navy's arrival is too little, too late.
You can only describe it as we've just survived like the worst car crash and we're being asked to recover next to the vehicle.
Frustrated with the lack of information and desperate to get the little one out of the smoke, they've chartered their own boat.
We're not confident at all that any support is coming. We've left our cars, our house open, we've told strangers to go and use it, and yeah, we're heading home.
This terrifying vision just in was filmed by the Victorian Police chopper as the fire hit on New Year's Eve. It shows the sheer scale of the front as it bore down on Mallacoota. Some holidaymakers with caravans and boats plan to stay and wait it out until the road reopens and smoke clears. Despite warnings, this could take up to 3 weeks.
We don't know what's open down the road. We don't know how many service stations can pump fuel and how many can't, so that's worrying. That's it.
In the meantime, more immediate challenges.
Even bottled water has run out. So just getting water into our, getting water for our children, we're having to get bottles and take bottles back down to the bastion point. We've got to be able to empty the bottles into something so they can go and refill them for other people. So that's quite hard as well.
Among those residents staying on is musician Justin Brady. He wrote this song after the Black Saturday fires, never imagining he would experience the same horror firsthand. Now he only has the clothes on his back and a few sentimental musical instruments left after his home was razed.
Unfortunately, I was just unlucky. A big shout out to the fireys, they're just incredible.
Justin says he can't imagine living anywhere else. It's the goodwill of the people here at Malakuta that give him hope for the future.
This is my home, although it's not much of a place to sleep in at the moment.
All our music collection and artwork and all those lovely things in life.
I even had my wedding dress. And
Jeff and his wife Betty have called Malakuta home since 1984.
I've put in 36 years of labour into that house and improved it because we were preparing it for sale.
They lost everything in the fire, decades of memory reduced to charred remains.
No, I don't want to look at it. I want to remember it like it was.
It's too hard to go up there at the moment.
Yeah.
Even if they did want to return to survey the damage, they can't. Fallen trees and asbestos make it impossible for many locals. Now they're hoping they can board HMAS Choules and make their way to friends and family back home.
Now we move on. Something new, something small that we can cope with.
Section of our life. Yeah.
Look, we know here we are surrounded by love in this community.
Wow, Mimi, what an incredible group of people. That is incredibly inspiring. But there is some more bad news. There are a number of people in that area who are still unaccounted for tonight.
That's right, Layla. At this stage, we understand that 17 people are unaccounted for across the East Gippsland fires. There is some hope that some of those people may be found safe once communication and electricity comes back online. But in the meantime, authorities do hold out grave fears for many of them. It comes as the official death toll of the Victorian fires stands at 1, with the confirmation that grandfather Mick Roberts passed away. Now, for those left stranded in communities here at Malakuta and 23 other communities across the state, authorities are saying that these evacuations aren't compulsory, but they're certainly encouraging people to get out ahead of worsening fire conditions that are expected to fan blazes that still burn out of control across the state this weekend.